Yaseen, would you like to introduce yourself, talk a little bit about Optical?
Yeah, hi Roman. So yeah, obviously my name is Yaseen. I'm the founder of Optical Technologies. So what Optical Technologies does is it specializes in building B2B SaaS products at enterprise level. So we have a full engineering team located in India of over 30 software engineers. And yeah, essentially we specialize in building B2B SaaS products for mostly the European and American markets. And that comprises of communication platforms similar to Slack. It comprises of recruitment platforms, health tech platforms, and so on.
Brilliant. And how long have you been working with us so far?
So I believe it's been around 8 months now.
Yeah, sounds all right. Mapping the vitamin.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Legit.
Yeah, literally.
And before you started working with us, what was the internal sales systems like and what were you struggling with?
Yeah, sure. So to be honest, there actually was pretty much no internal sales system. And it was an internal sales system which wasn't well defined really at all. Because obviously we spent that first year just setting up and building product. So we were focused on building an engineering team, actually defining our products, building our products, putting together the TAMs and stuff. When we first met you guys, it just wasn't, we didn't pretty much have a sales process at all.
Okay. And how would you say that then now compares to your process internally now and how you're progressing now at this stage?
Yeah. So obviously it's a world's difference. You can't even compare what we were at to what we are now. We have a proper sales process defined from end to end. Our SDRs have proper roles and responsibilities. And yeah, it's just a well-defined process that works now. So do you want me to go into detail and explain that process?
Yeah, kind of a little bit, but I just want to touch on something. It's funny how every 6 to 8 months you think back on 6 to 8 months ago and you're like, yeah, bro, I literally knew nothing. I literally do that every 6 to 8 months. Just think back then, what was I doing?
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
Yeah. In terms of the actual strategies that we helped you implement, what did that actually look like from the high level perspective?
Yeah, cool. So we'll go over a couple of things here. So number one would obviously be the appointment setters. Having those appointment setters actually having a framework to abide to. So that comes down to scripts, targets, manageable KPIs, and essentially, I guess you could say, a level of ownership over what they're responsible for, which is booked meetings in the calendar. And yeah, essentially once we had that framework dialed in from help from yourselves, massively increase the bookings in the calendar.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Perfect. I think we were helping you out with the cold email side of things as well. How have you found that?
Yeah, so obviously when I first met you, I had no idea how cold email worked at all. Obviously I'd heard of it as a strategy for outbound lead gen, but yeah, it just helped massively. We're able now to send approximately, I believe it's around 2,000, 3,000 emails a day right now.
Good volume.
Just having that, the high volume, and just having that run on autopilot is just so beneficial, not having to rely on, of course, people to manage that process. And you're essentially just responding to the leads that are actually interested in your offer. So that made a massive impact. And just utilizing all of the channels together just compounds on one another. It's really good.
Omnichannel is so powerful that you get one list, you hit them on LinkedIn, you hit them on email, you hit them on cold calls. It's absolutely crazy. And with cold email especially, it's one of those channels where it's when you first hear about it, it's what, you send loads of emails and you're going to get loads of money? How does that work? Yeah. But once you actually get into it, it's so much simpler than you initially realized to set up. And then once you've got it set up, then it's pretty straightforward, right? And you just get this, upload them onto the system, start sending emails, you get loads of inbound responses. Obviously, you've got to make sure that your messaging is correct. But yeah, cold email has been a game changer for us. Obviously, that's the initial channel that we started off with. Yeah, for sure. So in terms of working with us, what's been the most valuable part of it overall?
I would say the key highlight would just be the overall understanding of the whole picture of outbound lead gen. So, obviously some people just specialize in one thing, like, for example, cold emailing or, for example, cold calling. But it's just the overall suite of you guys being able to implement every channel simultaneously. So I'd say that for us was extremely beneficial because, again, we were able to benefit from omni-channel and not just rely on one. And Another thing I would say is the realistic expectations and KPIs from sales reps, making them understand what they're there to do and really just the management overall.
100%. In terms of like sales and lead generation consultancy, have you ever worked with anyone in the past to help you out with that sort of thing, or is this a new experience for you?
Yeah, so we did actually work with one company in the past. It didn't seem to be too successful because they didn't actually show us what they were doing. They were just handling a process on their side, and essentially we owned the product. So what was happening was that there was a disconnect between the two. And because they weren't involved in our process and actually understanding the product properly, and they were just handling, basically just trying to bring us leads, all of the leads firstly didn't have a good understanding of our product, and we were disconnected from their sales process. Compared to what you guys have done, you guys have essentially allowed us to keep our sales process in-house, which means that the relationship between our actual product and the sales process is direct. There's no third party which is essentially involved. And being able to understand how to actually set that up instead of using a company is massively beneficial now, because obviously we have all of the knowledge in-house and it's just a much more seamless process.
Yeah, perfect. No, I appreciate that. And in terms of communication with the team themselves, how has that been as an experience? Have we been responding promptly? Have you been able to get information from us? If you're, let's say, you just come out of a meeting, we haven't got a meeting scheduled in a few days, like how has that been?
Well, yeah, fantastic. I can give you a call at any time and you'll pick up. Yeah, there's no complaints on the communication side. Yeah.
You know, I appreciate that. And one final question then is our services, our consultancy, something that you would recommend to other companies that are looking to grow, obviously outside of your sector? Yeah. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think 100%. And I think that for anyone watching this, they really need to consider, if I am going to go out alone and do something, and this is a misconception that I had about consultancy before I met you guys. If I'm going to go out and do something, you have to understand that it's going to take you at least a certain amount of months or even years to get to the level of understanding who is an expert in that field. And it applies to anything, but when you actually do pull the trigger and you do find someone who is good at consulting within their field, you basically save that time and in turn save money. So for us, it was obviously a massive advantage because we didn't have to go through a process of 6 months to a year of actually understanding what you guys were able to implement to do it ourselves. Instead, we had the help of you, and now we've still got it in-house. So it's basically the best of both worlds. So yeah, I would 100% recommend.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that a lot. And one final point to touch on is obviously committing to being consulted. People are just like, what do I actually get out of this? Oh, you're going to teach me how to do it. Who do you think you are, sort of thing. But it's like, there's so many more benefits to understanding it yourself so that you can put it within your own business and then scale up infinitely forever. It's just an absolute no-brainer from my perspective to be consulted. I don't understand why people are just like, oh, I want to pay and then I want to get like explicit result sort of thing. In my opinion, I think consultancy is the best thing that you can invest in. I invest in mentors. You've obviously invested in us and it's worked. So yeah, any of you guys out there looking to get consulted, even if it's not by me, you know, just get some support because you're going to save so much time. And at the end of the day, like time and money is the only things we have. So why not shorten that curve, right?
Yeah, no, 100%.